Welcome back. You're still watching Morning at NTV with me, Sandra Twinodio and Romeo Busiku. Now, during the COVID-19 period, this period has seen quite an increase in the number of domestic violence, and we've seen that the gender-based violence has sort of made people believe and feel that this could be because of the poor support that spouses or relatives or family offer to their friends. And to sort of give you some bit of context, we know that globally, gender-based violence, or sometimes referred to as violence against women and girls, is a big problem, and it affects at least 1 in 3 women in their lifetime. And locally, back here at home, GBV is rampant and is worsened by poverty, alcoholism, culture stereotypes. People actually violate the rights of women because of the culture stereotypes that they have against women, and of course war and conflict, among many others. And when we look at the Uganda Demographic and Health Survey of 2016, it revealed that up to 22% of women aged 15 to 49 in the country had sort of experienced some form of sexual violence. The report also revealed that annually, 13% of women aged between 15 to 49 report experiencing sexual violence, and this translates to more than 1 million women exposed to sexual violence every single year. So the discussion this morning is basically looking at the solutions to the increasing cases of gender-based violence. What exactly can we do, especially at a time like this where people are spending a lot of time together? The lockdown could have been lifted, but we do have curfew and a few other sectors are still closed. So people are spending a lot of time together. So what are some of the things that we should be looking at? In March, when the lockdown was instituted here in Uganda, we saw that cases had really hiked. They had become so many. At least we saw the police reporting that every single day there was a case of domestic violence being brought forward. And we wonder now, with the lifting of the lockdown, has this changed? And this is why we speak to Mr. Julius Chisembo from Action for Development. Welcome to Morning at NTV this Monday morning.
Thank you to Inovidio.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, our viewers at Morning at NTV. I'm glad to be here once again to speak about gender-based violence.
All right.
I want also to thank NTV for the opportunity. I'm from ACFOD, Action for Development, based in Bukoto. It is an NGO, a women NGO on Lutaya Drive, immediately after late Mayombo's home. Greetings from there and our partners in this program, the Trocare, that fund this program. Want to thank you very much. Our listeners, good day. Want to discuss today.
All right.
Thank
now,
you.
during the very first months of the lockdown, we saw that cases of domestic gender-based violence had become many.
Yes.
Has the situation changed now with the curfew being extended and some of the different parts of the economy being opened?
Thank you very much. The trend, according to the reports in the papers from the police, has not changed. First of all, gender-based violence, what is the root cause? It is that lack of the easiness of access to resources. How do we share the resources that are available? Who has the majority take on? Who has the authority to distribute, to share? That's the most important thing. Now, during the lockdown, we experienced increased rates of domestic violence, particularly against women and children. This is because at that time, there was a lot of time for the abusers to have more time with the abused. So the other people did not have a say. The other people stayed in fear. The other people stayed in the dependence syndrome.
Yes.
At the end of the day, when they tried also to to access their rights, there was a problem, there was a disagreement. The communication was not effective, it broke down. Now, what happened after they have made partial opening, the lockdown has reduced, why are the cases still increasing? There are still effects from the lockdown.
Yes.
They have just opened, resources have not flown in the way they should have been. there is still scarcity of resources. And now who is in control of the scarce resources? In a home or in a domestic setting, it is the breadwinner, who is usually the husband. And two, because of the society bringing up our social setup, even when a woman is working, she's supposed to be subjective to the husband. She's supposed to report to the husband what she has earned. And the husband is supposed to spend for the family. Now, the women are saying, kindly allow us also have a say on what we have earned so that we can run the family together.
Yes.
Many men are saying, no, I am the head of this family, which is true, you are the head of this family. But you are saying, how easy is it for even your wife, for your spouse, for your child to access the resources? How often do you sit down to apportion these resources? How often do you give chance others also to participate? So because of lack of that participation, because of lack of that freedom for other players to take part, domestic violence or gender-based violence in particular has also increased, because there hasn't been that shift from the patriarchal society, a man has it all, to the society where we sit down and negotiate. I would appreciate, Madam, a situation where I sit down with my family, we have the resources, and then we budget according to what we have. We do not have enough as of now because we have been locked down, and normal operations of work has not also resumed, but we are trying to survive within the system. But then other areas are being suffocated, other people are being suffocated. There are no resources. What do? A woman wants to go for antenatal visits, but she does not have transport. A child who, they are not going to school, they are at home. We have branded them that they are eating a lot. What is a lot? What is it that they are eating? Don't you think that what they are transforming in what you are calling eating a lot could have been spent on school fees, which we have not spent for the last 6 months?
Yes.
What is their take on that? Is there any saving as a family for the last 6 months? We are saying the answers are no, no, no. So this one now translates into that rubbing of shoulders, that negotiation between access of resources, responsibilities, and benefits.
So basically what you're trying to say, Mr. Kisembo, is that majority of the people are falling victim to gender-based violence because of the poor support structures and also the pressures that have been brought onto the people by the COVID-19 pandemic, is it?
Yeah, you are partly correct. And the other part also is that a lot of information has been hidden from the people who should have known it.
Yes.
The women and the children. For example, many men, sometimes when the women ask for resources, even when you have 1,000 shillings in your wallet, you will have to go behind the curtain to pull out the 1,000. What is it that you are hiding in your wallet? Why don't you open and say, so that she sees that you have 1,000, and then you plan to live on that. That's one. Two, who has the information that should be able to help to overrun the gender-based violence? We have various types. One, we have the physical one, where you will see somebody having physical marks on your face, on your body. Exchange, beating, fighting, hitting, that is physical. We also have the economical one. You are suffocating everybody. You are the breadwinner, you have everything, but you are not supporting others. You have actually left them to have portion, okay, call it a meal. That's what your responsibility at home is. But the needs in a home are beyond that, beyond the meal. Then three, we also have the sexual violence. People have been stabbed, people have been forced into sex. Somebody says, I'm not feeling. Somebody who has had a problem with you during the day and you're asking her for sex. But if she says no, you are not respecting that no. You are not even going ahead to find out what is it. I paid for you. You are my wife. Is being your wife becoming a captive of you? Supposing if I wanted, is it translated the other way? That if I wanted and the man doesn't want, do I also force you? I would not force. Then there are also psychological tortures. You are making statements that are really arousing
Emotion of
feelings, the emotions of
Yes.
your partner. Some people, some relationships, women don't work. And somebody saying, but you just came here to eat my food, you don't produce anything. But is it true that your wife does not have anything she produces at home? You are very smart in an office. Who washes? Who takes care of your children? Who takes care of you when you are at home?
Who cooks?
Who cooks? Who takes care of your house? You are not there. Everybody will say, you have a beautiful home. You want all of the credit. So all of these things tantamount when you don't give somebody the due respect, when they don't benefit to equally on the results, then there is that somebody feels I'm neglected, I am out. Sometimes they withdraw. I had also said we have created a situation where we are making our wives, our children, as dependent on us. Everything they must ask me.
Yes.
How much money do you leave on the table? Have we agreed that in a week, let's use 10,000 shillings daily, and that is 70,000. Let her take a decisions on what the 70,000 does.
Yes.
I want to tell you, madam, these women are as truthful as a nail, because the nail will bore into even concrete. They will use your money to the last.
Yeah.
However, there are also other cases of women who are also, men are saying, but I'm being mistreated. When we deal with domestic violence, we do not actually apportion blame only on men. Once you are caught in the act of abetting that violence, then we also speak about you. There are many that have suffered, but the problem is the statistics which you have just read. They show that women and children are the most affected
Yes.
in this violence. The men do not go to report. I was asking the men, why don't you report? You are telling me this. They say, when you report, they say you are a weak man. But you are suffering.
Yes.
Who else is going to help you if you think that by reporting you are a weak man? Actually, you are a strong man. Me, I support you. I say, please, he has come out, because we tell people to speak. You have spoken.
Well, Mr. Kasembo, you've really touched a topic that majority of the people actually bring forward and talk about, the issue of the environment that allows women and men to report cases. Has it been made favorable?
Thank you very much. I wouldn't like to say that it has been made favorable, but it has been made available. Favorable, I don't know what it means, but let's take some woman has a problem, has been battered, and she's going to report, because the first reporting point we say is the local council, called the LOC, sometimes of which I also help. I'm also chairman in my zone there. But when they come to us, what is it that we are telling us? We are telling us, you can't report a man. This is bedroom matters. You are going to shame your house. But somebody has suffered. Somebody has a problem. Is it true that when she goes back and it is not reported, that thing ends? It has not become so easy for them to report at any point, and then they are given that reception, and they are given what they're supposed to get. At the end of the day, somehow they want to discourage her from continuing. What we have done as ACFOD and other players, but as ACFOD, we have also trained the LOCs.
Yes.
We have also partnered with the police, and we have spoken to them how they should handle these cases. I am happy to report, at least at the police, Child and Family Protection Unit of the Uganda Police Force, they have really tried to help these women and children that report there with these cases. But you're asking about how easy is it? One, what
because
is
you see, what I actually wanted you to clarify is that people say that when they approach the different police stations and they want to talk about domestic violence, like you say, they'll say this is a bedroom issue, so we won't get involved in it. And some other times, when they report the perpetrators, these pay some little money and they get away with it. So women sort of feel scared to go ahead and talk about the issues affecting them, because at the end of the day, they feel they won't get the solutions they need.
That's true. Additional to that also, I was going to talk about the distance.
Yes.
Moving from where the victim is to the police station, to the station which is going to report, needs some transport, which they don't have.
And sometimes even the police officers need some command.
Yes, I'm coming to that also.
Yeah.
And when they have money to get the little money to get to the police station, and somebody says, please, we need some kitu kidogo. Last week I was also dealing with a case in Kibale. The lady reported to me and said, I went to the police, but they're asking me for a transport to go and arrest my husband. And the distance is 27 kilometers. I said, how much is it? And she told me they want 60,000. Now, somebody who is suffering, somebody who is already in an abusive situation, she's not empowered economically. That hinders her. And when other women also hear that, you know, somebody's wife went to report and they were asking her for transport to come and pick the man, or some airtime to talk to him, they will also be discouraged. After all, they don't have the resources. Yes. But we have also, like I've said, we have spoken. I interviewed. I spoke to the police officer. I want to say thank you very much to that police officer. She told me, please, if you can speak to this man to report here. I spoke to the man and the man reported. And when he reported, that man was arrested. And then they started negotiations at the police. They ended up making an understanding that, please, I will respect my wife. I will respect the marital property. I will not, at least that's what they told me. I got happy, and the woman called it to say, I am extremely okay. We are saying, it is true, they also have hardships. Yes. But depending on the way you look at the circumstance, if somebody has come with a car, you can say, Madam, is it possible for you to drive us so that we can go and intervene at your home? We can pick this man. Sometimes those rural police stations don't have these facilities. But that kind of arrangement, when they hear of it, that there are things, there are demands at these stations, LOC, police, or even beyond. Some people go to court, and then they are being asked for some kidogo. It is discouraged. However, when we meet in our with these other people, we tell them, at worst, when they have asked for money here, go to the next step. If it is Child Family and Protection Unit, OC, you can go to the OC station or to the DPC. Maybe the DPC can offer to give his car or his motorcycle to help you. Maybe he has the airtime to speak. Because I know some of these people, the circumstances in which they operate, but that does not give them the mandate to ask these women who are in abusive situations. We want to go over the vice. Now we are also putting another weight. How can these women come up? They don't own resources. They are poor. How do they get resources? What they do, they just give up. Yes. And what happens? They go back home. Then they go they are battered.
They go through the same experience over and over again.
And now it also creates anger. You take me to the police, what have they done? You know?
And maybe this is why also when they get back home, they now resort to also defending themselves.
Exactly. They are like a time bomb. They keep harboring on their heart. Yes. Time comes when the bomb explodes.
When they also cannot take it anymore. Yeah.
Please, give them a break. I am appealing to anybody. If somebody shares with you that she is in an abusive situation, find a way of helping her to get justice. Where is gender equality? How are they accessing the justice? Is the justice created for only one type of person? Because when a man moves at the police station, I've been told, my wife has accused me here, they are giving him a VIP treatment. Oh, take sit here, you come here. What is it? You tell us. Because what is it? Maybe they are expecting some small thing from them. Yes. Give the treatment to the woman, even if you do not help her at that point. But that reception you have given her, in her mind, it creates that there's somebody who was respecting me.
Someone who cares enough.
Give her the information that I am unable to help you, but please let me take you to my boss.
All right. So, Mr. Exembo, we should also dive into the solutions. Actually, you just pointed out a few of them. Now, for those that are watching us this morning, the issue of gender-based violence remains a global issue, actually. It just doesn't stop here. But we wonder, how can we, as loved ones at home, as neighbors, keep peace within our communities? How do we help each other? For those that are staying at home longer time, it is believed that before the lockdown and COVID-19, people would see themselves probably a few hours in a day, so they don't get to see the small habits that they do not like about each other. But now we are spending more time with each other. How do we deal with the differences within our communities and our families?
Thank you very much, Madam. First of all, I want to speak to my fellow men. While you are at home, however much you are aggrieved, try to seek a solution among us, you two people. Because you are the leaders, the children are looking upon you as who are leading in the family. speak about your differences. Are there things that you can agree on? Are there things that you are afraid to agree on? You can bring in the third party. Can you speak to some other, to your friend, to your religious leader, to your local council leader? Can we open up? Both of us. Let's not allow only women to open up, because when the women open up, when they come back home, it is a bad story. Can we all open up? So from the home, can we discuss, can we speak about these things, domestic violence issues in my home? Can we start at home? Then when we are not satisfied, we can agree that you can seek redress higher than us. I am willing. Can we cooperate where I am called? That's one. Two, can we help the situation by exercising fairness? In whatever I'm doing, am I fair to my partner? Or I am only sending missiles to her? Have I listened to her? Have I acted like I should have acted? In some cases, I heard when I was in your lounge there, you're talking about there are some cultural beliefs that are really repressive. Can we put our laws together that, please, much as I am in this culture, this is what happens, but you are my wife, I'm your husband.
For instance, like the issue of female genital mutilation remains a very controversial subject.
Yes. Can we talk about it? Can we say now, this is bad? Because the woman, have you asked those women, do they enjoy it? They are actually complaining. Can we talk about stopping it? Can I talk about stopping my daughter from getting involved into that, even if my wife went through it? But they have complained that it is bad.
Yes.
They are being oppressed. They don't like it. They would like it to stop. Two, can we respect the laws? Because Uganda has laws. For instance, about the domestic violence. We made a law through the parliament called the Domestic Violence Act 2010. It spells out what each of us should do, including the neighbors, the community, myself, my wife, my children, the police. They call it the duty bearers, the courts of judicature. Everyone has his own right. Now, right at the ground, if you have spoken to your neighbor, what has your neighbor done? Because should it be discovered that you talked to me and I didn't take any action to help you, and then you are faced with domestic violence, I'm equally liable by that law.
True.
I am supposed to report to the next place. I am supposed to involve other people. Then the other one is also now is the economic part of it. How can we improve the economic resources that women can also depend on? Can we encourage our women to do small businesses? Can we support them? If some woman, if your wife comes up with some idea, can you support her with the resources? So that she's also occupied, you are also occupied. She earns, you also earn. These nitty-gritty things that she needs, she can also actually meet them. Because sometimes what is disgusting is that for men we tend to say, but the demands are many. You start with this, even this. Can't you
do something about it?
Then the woman will ask you, I do something about it. Do I have any resources?
Yes.
Please, can we put up resources for our women to work? Those ones who are already working, can we support them rather than discourage them?
So in other words, the men should support their women, so that in the event that the men cannot support them, the men cannot support the women can chip in.
Yes.
Okay. It's a partnership.
And the women have done it. But you see, what has discouraged some women from that day they withdraw is that we are demanding everything from them. I have intervened in cases where a woman works for 30 days, but the husband asked for an ATM. He's the one who withdraws her salary.
Yes.
He's the one who plans for the. But when she even wants money for her hair, she has got to demand. And the man says, that one is not an essential part of it. On my money. So let's allow them exercise rights. Let them enjoy the rights on their money. So that they can also willingly contribute to us. So that we all contribute. And to three, let us respect what they have done. However much, either little or big, that contribution, let's respect it, let's appreciate it.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Julius Kisembo, for helping us understand better how to deal with gender-based violence within our communities. We know that there are many other causes of gender-based violence. It could be conflict and war.
It
could be poverty. It could be, you know, alcoholism. Because these other issues do not discriminate between the rich and the poor. But these are the other issues we couldn't dive into this particular morning. But they do exist and they contribute to gender-based violence. You at home, please do not be scared to report any case of gender-based violence. If you're sort of going through a situation of the same, please do not be scared to open up to people. And we also hope that as neighbors, as friends and relatives, if someone opens up to you and says they have a particular issue to do with violence in their homes, you're open enough and kind enough to actually pay attention to them and listen to them. Thank you all for joining us, and I hope you're able to share with us your thoughts on our social media platforms on how we can all address the issue of gender-based violence. Thank you once again for joining us this morning.
Thank you to Innovio. Thank you, NTV. I want also to thank our listeners. Yes. To the youth, today's elections, go and participate in your election. It is the Electoral Commission. It is not party election. It is the Electoral Commission. Go and participate. All right. The government is giving out masks like the one I have. Please go. Those who are distributing them house to house, please give everyone so that we can prevent COVID. We can now speak of development other than COVID having issues to do with domestic violence.
All right, thank you so much. Now, in other news this morning, we see that a multi-million-dollar project to kickstart economic growth on Kalangala Island was conceived by the Ministry of Finance way back in the mid-1990s and kicked off in 2005. But over time, concerns have been raised about its costs, including recently an audit report by the Auditor General that detailed, among others, questionable payments, and recommended that government re-examines clauses in the public-private partnership deal.